I've taken a short notice holiday for the afternoon just so I can do this. Ride the bike aimlessly around. And actually, this is the last day of riding it before it's MOT'd tomorrow, and potentially I find out that it's fucked after the accident. So, and maybe actually that's a video I will record maybe today. You find a nice place to stop, do a little post-mortem of my accident and talk through the damage that was done, and we'll find out how much does it cost to crash a motorcycle. Okay, so how much did it cost to crash my bike? I actually don't know, I haven't summed up all the figures, but we'll do that as part of this video. And I think we'll talk through the damage in kind of two parts. Stuff that was very visible, and then the stuff that was hidden. So the bike landed on its left, so that's where all the damage was, and still is, because I haven't replaced absolutely everything. But the obvious stuff that was broken was the handguard, the clutch lever, the mirror, the cap here, which is still scratched up, this wing, the screen, this mount, this panel, and then the engine bar, and also at the back, the pillion grab rail. Oh, and the indicator, that needed replacing as well. So, the bike landed pretty heavily, I think, on this panel carrier, which bent it and cracked it, and it did a bunch of damage to everything around here. So, as this punched in, it cracked and bent the middle panel carrier, which in turn snapped off, I think, 2 out of the 3 of the pins which sit on the speedo. It also bent the mechanism which lifts the windscreen up and down. You can just about see it there. And it also punched a little hole in the headlight. When I started the bike, when it got up to temperature, smoke would just plume out of the exhaust. I phoned BMW and I said, do you mind just investigating the smoking? I've been in an accident, do you mind having a look? They said sure. £140 for the initial investigation, so I said no thank you. Did a bit of research, and it turns out when the bike's on its side for a bit, oil can make its way into the airbox. So stripped the bike, got to the airbox, gave it a clean out, put it back together again, started the bike, and that fixed the problem. Yeah, that's one of the later things I did, fixing the bike up, which in hindsight I should have done sooner, because that could have been, you know, bike ending issue. I got extremely lucky that the radiators was fine, the cylinder heads are fine, final drive is fine, so cosmetic damage. And seeing as I did all the work myself, I paid £0 in labour. Oh, and I forgot one more thing that was damaged actually, the bar end, so a little bit more. So yeah, crashing motorcycles, don't recommend it. However, if you do crash a motorcycle, I do recommend fixing it yourself, because you'll save some money and you'll learn so much about your own bike. Just have a little bit of confidence, because honestly it's just big complicated Lego. What I will do now is a little breakdown of actually how much money I've spent on this bike in the last couple of months. So first of all, I had the accident. This bike was due for a new tyre, so that's been replaced and fitted. And then its big 24k service was due as well, so that's been done. And I did get them to inspect and re-grease the final drive. That service, the big one, 24k, which includes valve clearances, spark plugs, and replacing all the brake fluid, that was £909. £909, which is a lot of money, and I am 100% going to do my own servicing in the future. because I'm not paying that every 12,000 miles. Only downside is that I won't have the dealership stamps in the book. I will just have a little post-it note that says, I did this. And here is hoping that tomorrow it passes its MOT test. I'm so scared that it's going to fail on something that I've not seen. That's going to be non-economical to repair, especially after the amount of money that I've sunk into getting this bike back on the road. Alright, let's do this. Let's bloody do this. The things that I think it could fail on. So I am worried about the headlight because I don't know, that after the accident, if you were to sit on the bike, the whole of the left side was kind of like slumped down. So I am a bit worried about where the headlight's pointing, and that can come up in the test. I'm worried about the wheel alignment. I don't know, maybe something got knocked out, maybe the bars aren't straight but they feel fine, and the headstock bearings seem okay because it's not like wobbling and the bike doesn't feel like it's tracking strangely. And then the last thing I think it could fail on is the bars. My handlebar. Well, thanks for the very late notice there, Google Maps. Basically, if I full lock to the left, this handguard gets a lot closer to the windscreen than if I were to full lock right. So I don't know if my bars are bent, but I haven't measured anything, but judging it by eye, it seems okay. And I've checked over the frame myself and can't see any obvious cracks or dents or bending. So hopefully the frame's all good. Anyway, we are nearly there, and I will update you when I get back on the bike after it's been tested. So see you in a bit. Alright, the news, the verdict. She passed. Happy days through the MOT. I'm so happy. I am so relieved. This is a good day. All my money, time and effort was not for nothing. So really good, really, really good. Whilst I was waiting, I heard him starting up the bike, and he left it on for a really long time. And I was like, why are you leaving it on for that long? And then I heard the fan come on for the radiators, and when the fan went off, he turned the bike off. So I was like, oh, he is being really vigilant, which is a good thing, right? I do want him to check over the bike properly after the accident I have, and make sure it is MOT worthy. So, but yeah, happy days. She has passed. My brain was going into catastrophizing mode though. I was thinking, oh my god, what if it fails? What if it's going to fail on something big and it's going to be too much money to fix it? And I started thinking, well, what should I do after? Should I go over to BMW, sit in a Warwick and start looking at new motorbikes and trade this in? But yeah, all good, she passed. So we'll celebrate, we'll go for a little ride, go over to Stratford, go over to Gilt's Cafe Garage maybe, just spend a little bit of time on the bike, seeing as I think I've earned it.